Howdy everyone, Pocher here with an Age of Magic video, and in today's video we're going to be versing the Renegades with the Knights of the Council. Now please keep in mind that the Knights we are versing, it's a very specific version of the Knights. The characters on the team are one of the few teams I have tested. I have not tested against a Mordred variant or a Felicia variant. I plan to do that in the future. With a Wilhelm, I have found to have a much lower success rate, so please be wary of Wilhelms, sneaky little Wilhelms in the enemy team. And any Renegade team with demons on it, I highly recommend staying away from with the Knights of the Council. However, the Knights versing this very specific version of the Renegades, it's an absolute dream. The Knights are back in action and I love it. They're a wonderful faction. I think they have a very, very good effect or theme to them, whatever you want to call it, with their ability to turn into a stronger version of themselves after certain casts. And I think it works very well. MVP of this match is the Siegfried, though. He has 60% damage reduction against Renegades, and this is a pure patience fight. We are not looking to kill the Renegades as fast as possible because with 5 stacks on the Corvus, they take 75% damage reduction. Now, when the battle starts, if the Lion Go has not taunted, you're going to go ahead and stun the Morrigan with the Brynhild. If the Lion Go has taunted, you just stun the Lion Go. It's as simple as that. And we're using our utility abilities until Corvus uses his dragon. And then we use our AoE abilities to wipe them out. So utility with the Tristan, utility with the Librarian. Now, normally you'll get initiative reset on the Corvus or the Crowley. And with that, when the bomb triggers on Librarian, it will reset their initiative to 0, which is wonderful. We're going to increase our defenses. Out comes the dragon, and you will see how quickly they fall. Now, this is a completely maxed out fight. And after this, we will go ahead and we will verse the Renegades with a more realistic version of what you might find in clan battles, or even a realistic version of what you may have, or what I would recommend awakening on the Knights of the Council themselves, because you don't need everything. We have everything at the moment. The only character that doesn't have awakenings is the Siegfried, and I really hope they give him awakenings and benefit him more in this type of situation against the Renegades specifically. And he doesn't actually have one of those effects that the other Knights have, where they can turn into a powerful version of themselves. As you can see, the stacks on the Librarian, the orange buff on the Tristan, Brynhild, and Jean, that's all from effects happening in battle where they gain stacks and they turn into a stronger version. Siegfried doesn't have that. I really hope they give it to him so it benefits him in the future. So we'll jump into the fight now where the awakenings have been nulled down to what you may find in a real battle. After that, we'll have some fun matches that completely maxed out so you can see if there's any different outcomes to the fight. So jumping back in now, we have Lola completely awakened. I'm not messing around with her too much. She's one of the new heroes. People are probably still wondering what to awaken. And honestly, I haven't gone through her myself specifically to see what is absolutely necessary and what's not. Crowley, we have his second and his third. I find those are very, very effective when they are awakened. With Corvus, we have his second and his leadership ability. With his leadership, he's adding 30% damage to all Renegades. I believe everyone's going to be awakening this if they're going to be using the Renegades in battle. Or if you verse someone, they're most likely going to have this awakened as well. Plus, it gets support attack from 2 allies. And he gets a lot out of just those 2 abilities alone. Anything else is just a bonus to him. The other characters on the team, Morrigan and the Lion Go, are not awakened at all. So just keep that in mind. Moving over, we have one ability on Brynhild and her passive. We have all the passives awakened on our characters because that's what gives them their bonus effects. We have the leadership on the Tristan and his third, because his third has a 50% chance of removing buffs from the enemy. I didn't think this was a priority a long time ago. I had my mind changed. I think 50% is definitely a pretty good chance to remove buffs. To be honest, we're not really even using this for that effect. We have the Brynhild shield throw. That's very important. Very powerful ability. We have the third, and the fourth ability awakened on the Librarian. It reduces his stacks needed to cast his bomb. And with Jean, we have her second and her passive as well. Honestly, I really wish I got all her awakenings when they were on discount. she's such a strong hero against renegades in general, but she does so much damage. It's quite scary. So in this situation, the Ligo hasn't taunted. We're going to go ahead stun the Morrigan. Out comes the 3 strikes from the Crowley. We're going to go ahead and use our utility. Use our utility again. Get the bomb out. We go ahead use our basic. Now, this is a very interesting situation where the Corvus actually hasn't even had the chance to cast his ability and get his 5 stats. And in this situation, it's very easy to take them out. Very easy to take them out. I still recommend being patient, but in the situation where this happens, by all means take advantage of it. The reason why this happens is because when Brynhild throws her shield, she has the chance of applying a debuff to other enemies where when they're struck, their initiative is reduced to 0. If that hits the Corvus and you reduce his initiative to 0, you almost have a green light to just kill the team. With the Corvus, he is able to remove debuffs from himself and one other ally, I believe it is, but only when his turn comes around. So just keep that in mind. We go ahead, just make sure he uses his ability anyway, and then we go in for the kill, take everyone out. With these 3 characters left on the team, there's really not much they can do. The Jin comes through and just one-shots Corvus. Without his stacks, he really just doesn't do much. I honestly love that about him. It makes him a character that you have to choose when to use his ability. Do you want to be more defensive, or do you want to have a stronger offense? I think it's very good for the hero to have options. I think it adds a lot more strategy to the hero, but it also gives a weakness to the hero that you can use to beat the team. I think every team needs to have stuff like this. It opens up greater use for heroes in the game. As you can see, we're using the Knights, which I know a lot of people have invested in. They used to be a very good team. Librarian specifically used to be he still is a great hero. And a lot of people have put time and effort into these heroes. There's no reason why they should just be cut from the game completely unusable. They are still very effective. Again, a very specific situation, but all the same, beautiful to use. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we'll jump over to the fun battles if you want to stick around and watch. If not, that's fine. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment below. I will answer it to the best of my ability. And wherever you're around the world, until next time, take care of yourselves.
Rise high, the council gathers beneath fire or sky. Steel against steel, their hearts ignite, marching to the lair of the Black Knight's fight. A Renegade's oath like poison it spread. Corvus the Black Knight, his cape stained red. With shadow blade he dared defy the council's pact would not die. Laughed from his darkened throne in a castle of fear carved from stone. But the council stood as one great flame, burning through his wicked game. Oh, destiny's hand guide their fate tonight, with armor gleaming through the breaking fight. Chains of defiance they cut and sever, facing shadows with a bond forever. Stars clash and echo as stars bear sight. The council of knights in their rage.